We are very glad to hear and give you a speech. For the next 20 minutes, we are going to speaking to you about exploring challenge of new global business environment. To introduce myself, my name is Lan Lan. This is our content. Our presentation is delivered into this part. In the first part, I'm going to give you a brief introduction of the main content of our presentation. There are three differences between UK and China. I will introduce you to the first difference, and the Hong-sen will tell you to another difference and give some challenge. Nan will introduce the rest of these contents, series, strengthening and recommendation, and make a conclusion and some reference. So let's get started. Our presentation is exploring challenge of new global business environment. Since the 1990s, with the end of the Cold War, scientists and the technology have changed with each past date. So we use the PESO analysis to analyze the difference between the UK and China. This is introduction, so what about different? Well, the first difference will be analyzed from microeconomy and the social culture. Let's start with the same generate information on microeconomy. If you look at this graph, you will see the UK and Chinese economy in 2018 to 2025. Both Britain and China have shown the 10 of group. We can see the Britain growth rate is lower than China, and the China GDP total output is higher than the UK. Why is this? The first thing to admit is that the Chinese economy is currently performing at the all-time high. The consumer purchasing power is increasing, and at the same time, the labor cost in the state of the lowest in the world. For example, Apple chose manufacturing in China because the cheap labor in China. They will take advantage of cheap labor in China to process their product in China factory, and they sell them to China again. Let's move on microecology in UK. British GDP has risen steadily in recent years, but slowly, and the manufacturing power. Britain is the first country of the world to have industrial revolution, but industrial countries will also serious through the environment. There is no denying that without industrialization, Britain economy could not have advanced. So let's move to social culture. Let's look at the Chinese culture first. We learned 关系, 面子, helping friend, and the Confucian nature in class. Firstly, 关系 is relationship between people. In China, the large one social network, the more powerful people amongst them. The greater one power in this. Second, 面子 just a face. The meaning of 面子 is rich and subtle. It can be dignity, honor, or net worth. Let me take a typical example. If two people who know each other but don't know each other very well have to meet a small restaurant, they will often fight over each other's food. It was not for dignity or not for honor, just for the 面子. The next one is helping friend. The chance for victory of China is be willing to help others, no matter what age of people. The last one is Confucian nature. Confucian is the founder of the Confucianism, which teaching with informed the development process of China of thousands of years. Like this famous quote from the PowerPoint. Don't miss doing any good thing, no matter how insignificant in look. Don't do any bad thing, no matter how insignificant in look. I'm going to take a look at UK social culture. British are more traditional, gentle, rigorous manner. Firstly, the British traditional mainly refers the British people, a chance important to traditional order. This even in today highly developed political democracy, British still retain the monarch and the rival families. The next one is gentlemen. The reason why British are gentlemen is that they will respect women very much. There is a strong social tradition of lady first. For example, if the husband usually strong social need to his wife accompany him to various social event, he usually introduce his wife and the first. The British can be very rigorous and Satan as the being gentlemen. They take care of everything and want to see the best. They value data and the fact more than feeling. There are all things have reflect British rigorous. Finally, minor makes men. Around the world, there are a variety of ways to express gratitude in the source of different language. Here in UK, children are taught from the young age and they should say thank you whenever possible. So that's all my said. Now I'm going to hand you over to Hongsen, where is going to talk about to another difference and the challenge in the UK and China.
Thank you, Nana. Now I will discuss two introductions for parts I would like to say. The first is the legal and policies level. China's State Council once proposed a 3-year action plan policies for the automotive industry in 2018, one of which to promote the use of new energy vehicles and vigorously eliminate old vehicles, which is exactly the corresponding harmony with truly electrified models. But under the epidemic, no matter what kind of model will be affected. In 2020, China and the UK will apply custom import and export restriction, which means that the 3D supply chain will be restricted by auto parts and processing materials such as car energies, windows glass, and body coating materials. In a microenvironment, the UK, as a high welfare state that often provides subsidies to its citizens, has also implemented employment remedial policies in the UK under the epidemic. This policy allows companies in the UK to apply for assistance for employees, but China's job subsidy only apply to the retirement age stimulated by the state, which does not include layoffs caused by the impact of the epidemic. This has also led to cities facing a semi-closed situation from the supply chain side to side due to the lack of labor. For example, in the event of the legal dispute, if the parties cannot rely on the law of which country as the criticism for judging, they also need to decide in accordance with Article 126 of the contract load. That means that they will, if a manufacturer in the UK runs a contract and does not meet the output standard for the enterprise, then they should determine the penalty for breach of contract through which country they are more closely linked to the contract. Next one is the technology side. In recent years, the level of science and technology in various countries has risen significantly. For example, China's new photonic materials add on the chip, improving the performance of cars with negotiation secrets. Screens. The UK's high semiconductors technologies has always been an indispensable part of the development of automotive semiconductors. When the two countries cooperative, the British ARM and China GE companies cooperative, and in 20 years to develop a new core energy technology. The two countries are based on this, and for the future of the automotive chip field, long-term research and development and mass production plan hope that car from the functional year to the intelligent year to go further. Then there's ecology. According to the chart, we know that although environment potential has become a concept, coal, oil, gas, and unclear energy source as the most important source of energy to today's society are inclined to stop using. As a country rich in coal oil, China uses much more coal than the UK. We also know that the source of CO2 is the use of carbon, so China is a country with high emissions. Finally, the challenge. The cultural dynamics of China of British, meaning cultural difference, and their main problems in today's society can be divided into 2 points. 1. Structure of uncertainty avoidance. That means creative problems, although Julie's focus on the publicity of locals and low price, it is easy to fall into a dilemma when foreign companies are competitors. 2. Long-term and short-term. The promotion employees in Chinese and the UK companies will affected by their company's future development direction under different cultural factors, according to the civil service promotion system in British. Those who pass a series of academic tests can be promoted if they are competent. However, in the context of interpersonal relationship in China, managers often appoint people by relationship. Their family and their friends are the upper position through the relationship, which leads to talent scarcity and had a bad atmosphere in the middle management. Whether a company becomes better or worse under such as influence can be found out in a short term. Conversely, a management team will multiply talent can have a long-term positive impact. That's all. Now I will give time to Nana. Nana, please go on.
Okay, so thanks my dear two teammates. Now it's my turn. In this part, I will use two cultural dimensions to establish our theoretical basis. There is hostile dimension and the Chopner dimension. Hostile dimension in this form, it is divided 6 aspects. From it, we can see there is almost no differences between China and the UK in uncertainty, avoidance, and the law and masculinity and femininity. But there is obviously different between China and the UK in the West. So we can see China is a high power distance, collectivism, long-term orientation, and restraint culture, but low uncertainty avoidance and masculinity country. UK is low power distance and individualism, short-term orientation, and indulgence culture. But low uncertainty avoidance and masculinity country. Okay. Entrepreneur's culture dimension. In this dimension, you can see it is divided into 7 aspects. Based on this model, the characteristics of China and UK is shown on the other table, respectively. In this table, you can see China is a particularism, communitarianism, diffuse, affective, ascription, synchronous time, external direction. UK is universalism, individualism, specific, neutral, achievement, sequential time, and internal direction. Okay, let's move on to the next part. In this part, if we are the strategical consultant of Geely, we will give the following advice of strategies and recommendation about how to manage the Lotus. Strategies. My strategy is reconciliation. Around the reconciliation, I divided it in 4 parts. Number 1, clear the compliance of continuing relationship and the advantage of both sides. Number 2, find out the reason why and how due to the different. Number 3, find the resonance points of both sides and use the most appropriate elements in the offsite cultural model. Number 4, remember how to build up in reconciliation and remember to use it well in the future. The recommendations. Based on the strategies. So I give the next 4 recommendations. Number 1, flight hierarchy of management and standardize the company rules. Number 2, clear promotion route and staff training. Number 3, generous employee benefits and salaries. 4, comfortable and effective employee feedback. Okay, let's move on to the final part. Conclusion. In this part, I will use 3 errors to summarize our group in presentations. First, when we meet different cultures, what we need are avoid conflict, mutual respect, comprehension, conversation, flexible and humanized change. Number 2, however, humans' consciousness and behavior are influenced by their experienced local culture. Parental education in childhood and the education level in teenagers. But all that lead to cultural dilemmas can be dealt peacefully and well, because there is no right or wrong in culture. Whatever. Multiculturalism and different values are always exist and unavoidable under the era of globalization. All makes the world amazing and attractive. That's all. This part is our reference. Our presentation is end. Thank you.